Welcome to Tungal online classes. Today we are going to start the new topic, that is ray optics. In the last class we completed the electromagnetic waves. In that we discussed the electromagnetic spectrum. What is the electromagnetic spectrum? The orderly distribution of the electromagnetic radiations according to either frequency values or wavelength values will be calling as a what? Electromagnetic spectrum. In that electromagnetic spectrum, different types of radiations are there. One is the gamma rays, X-rays, UV, visible, IR, microwaves and radio waves. Now we are going to discuss about what? Optics. So here what is the optics? Optics is the branch of the science. Optics is the what? Branch of the science which will be studying the different phenomena those are exhibited by the light. Once again, what is the optics? Optics is a branch of the physics which will be studying the different phenomena that are exhibited by the light. So how can we define? It is the branch of the physics. It is the branch of the physics which describes the different phenomena that are exhibited by the light. So what are the different phenomena that are exhibited by the light? Means the light will be exhibiting the phenomena such as reflection of the light. The light will be exhibiting which type of phenomena? Reflection. Second one is the what? Refraction of the light. Third one is interference. Fourth one, diffraction. And the last one is the what? Polarization. So the light will be exhibiting mainly 5 different phenomena. Those are calling as what? Reflection of the light, refraction of the light, interference, diffraction and polarization. So these are the different phenomena that are exhibited by the light, that was explained by the branch of the physics that is calling as what? Optics. So here what is the light? So here how can we define the light? Light is the part of the electromagnetic radiation. What is the light? Light is the part of the electromagnetic radiation which was existed in the visible region. That only I told. Yesterday we completed the electromagnetic radiation. In that different types of radiations are there. In that which region we consider here? Visible region. Which region? Visible region. In its name only visible will be there. What is the meaning of the visible? Out of all the different electromagnetic radiation, only one of the region that was detected by our human eye, such a type of region will be calling as the what? Visible region. So this visible region will be detected by the visible region will be detected by the human eye. That's why that will be calling as a what? Visible region. So whatever the light we are saying that a light will be belongs to which region? The light will be belongs to the visible region. So already we told the electromagnetic spectrum will be divided according to either frequency values or wavelength values. So that the wavelength range of the visible region will be given by from 400 to 750 nanometers. The wavelength range of the visible region is a what? 400 to 750 nanometer. Since the light is the part of the visible spectrum, or the light is belongs to the visible spectrum, whatever the light we are seeing with our naked eye, their wavelength range will be existing in between 400 to the 750 nanometer. So how can we define the light? Light, it is a part of the electromagnetic spectrum and whose wavelength range will be given by 400 to 750 nanometers. Whatever the radiations are present, having the wavelengths of in between 400 to the 750 nanometer, all those radiations, all those rays will be calling as a what? Light. Next, what is the speed of the light? We know that the speed of the light is equal to what? 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. The speed of the light is equal to what? 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. Okay, now we define that a light is a part of the electromagnetic spectrum and its wavelength is equal to 400 to 750 meter and it is also traveling with the speed of the 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. So, what is the need or use of the light? Now, we are seeing the object. Means what? With the help of the light only. If there is no light, in the darkness can we see the objects? No. So, what is the use of the light? Means with the help of the light, we are seeing the objects. How can we identify the particular object? Means whenever you consider any one of the given object, the light will be incidenting on the particular object. So, whenever the light will be incidenting on the particular object, the light rays will be reflected back. So, this is called what? Reflected light. Whenever the reflected light that is coming from the given object, will be entered into our eye, will be incident on our eye retina, then only we see the particular object. Once again, how can we see the object? Means whenever the light will be incidenting on the particular object, the object will be reflecting the incidental light rays. Whenever these reflected light rays are entered into our human eye and they will be incidenting on the eye retina, then only you will identify the object. If any one of the reflected light does not entered into your eye, that object will be can't visible. So that if you are seeing any one of the object means, how can you are seeing the object? Means from the given object, reflected light will be coming, that reflected light will be entered into your eye, then only you are identifying the object. So, this is the main use of the light. If there is no light, we can't see any object. So, this is the main information about the light. So, what is the light here? Light is the part of the electromagnetic radiation and whose wavelength is equal to what? 400 to 750 nanometer, and it is traveling with the speed of the light, and whenever the light is incidentting over the object, the reflected light will be entered into your human eye, then only the object will be visible, otherwise it is not visible. So, this is the basic information about the light. Now, see here, already we told what is the optics. Optics is a branch of the physics. Which will be explaining the different phenomena that are exhibited by the light. Here, optics is mainly classified into two different categories. Those are calling as, one is geometrical optics. Geometrical optics, or it is also calling as ray optics. Geometrical optics or ray optics. And the other one is wave optics. So, optics is mainly classified into two different categories. One is geometrical optics, and other one is wave optics. On what basis? This optics is mainly classified into two different categories. Means So the optics is mainly classified according to the wavelength of the light. According to the wavelength of the light, we divide the optics into two categories. Already we told, if you consider the light will be having the wavelength of 400 to the 750 nanometer. 400 to 750 nanometer. So the wavelength of the light will be extended in some region depending upon the wavelength of the given light. Depending upon the wavelength of the given light, the optics is mainly classified into two different categories. Those are calling as geometrical optics as well as wave optics. How can you choose geometrical optics? When the geometrical optics will be applicable, when the geometrical optics will be existed means, so whenever the wavelength of the light will be, very much smaller than the size of the objects. So when the ray optics will be existing, whenever the geometrical optics will be, whenever the geometrical optics or ray optics will be existed means applicable means whenever the wavelength of the light will be very much smaller, whenever the wavelength of the light will be very much smaller than the size of the objects, at that instant geometrical optics will be applicable. Once again, when the ray optics will be applicable means whenever the wavelength of the light will be, very much smaller than the size of the obstacle, at that instant ray optics will be applicable. So what are the different size of the objects we consider in the case of the ray optics means? So in the case of the ray optics, we consider plane mirrors or spherical mirrors. Again we consider the lenses. Again we consider the prism and telescopes, microscope. Such type of objects we consider in the case of the ray optics. So whenever you consider the size of the either mirror, lenses, prisms or telescope, the wavelength of the incident light will be, very much smaller. In that particular case only, these ray optics or geometrical optics will be applicable. Next, coming to the wave optics. When the wave optics will be applicable means whenever the wavelength of the incident light, will be very much greater than the size of the objects, then the corresponding branch of the optics will be calling as what? Wave optics. In the case of the wave optics, the wavelength of the incident light will be very much greater than the size of the objects. So in the case of the wave optics, which type of objects usually you are considering means? Generally we are consider the slit, fine pinhole, like these objects we consider in the case of the wave optics. Which type of objects we consider in the case of the wave optics? There we consider the slit. Young's double slit experiment we are saying there. So there we consider the slit as well as the fine pinhole to observe the diffraction pattern as well as interference pattern. Such type of objects we consider in the case of the wave optics. So this is a classification of the optics into two branches, that is the ray optics as well as the wave optics. Now we are going to study about the concept of ray optics. So we are going to study about what? Ray optics. So when we are studying the ray optics means, what we have to keep in mind? The wavelength of the light will be very much smaller than the size of the objects. So here in the ray optics, we are going to define some definitions. In its name only there, what is that ray? So how can we define the term ray means? If you consider the light, light is having a property that should be traveling along the straight line. Such a type of phenomena we are calling as a what? Rectilinear propagation of the light. Whenever you consider any type of the light ray, that a light ray will be exhibiting the phenomena of rectilinear propagation of the light. What is the rectilinear propagation of the light will be say means whatever the light ray you consider, that a light ray must be traveling along the straight line, so that any one of the light ray will be traveling along the straight line. So how can we define the term ray means the path followed by the light, the path followed by the light will be calling as the ray. So what is the definition of the ray? The path along which the light will be travels, that path will be calling as a what? Ray. So how can we define the path along which light was traveled is called as the what? Ray. Is called as what? Ray. In the case of the ray optics, when you draw the light rays, you must represent the direction of the light. You must represent the direction of the light. In this particular direction only light will be traveling, like that we have to specify its direction. That is called what? Ray. Next, another definition is a what? Beam. And the definition is a what? Beam. So if you consider any one of the light source, that a light source does not emit a single ray, a bunch of the light rays will be coming out. So how can we define the beam means? A beam is nothing but a bunch of the light rays are collection of the light rays. Bunch of the light rays are collection of the light rays will be calling as a beam of light. So once again, what is the beam means? A bunch of the light rays will be calling as a what? Beam of light. In the case of the ray optics, generally we are using the three different types of beam of light. One is a what? Parallel beam of light. Second one is a what? Divergent beam. Second one is a what? Divergent beam. And the third one is a what? Convergent beam. So when you identify a parallel beam of light will be there means, this parallel beam of light is indicating that these light rays are coming from infinite object. So whenever you see a parallel beam of light rays, in the ray diagrams of ray optics, what we have to understood, these parallel beam of light rays are coming from infinite object. Such a type of beam will be calling as parallel beam of light. Next. So this is a representation of parallel beam of light. This is the first one. Next, second one is a what? Divergent beam. So in the case of the divergent beam, the area of cross section of the beam will be increases. From here to here, the area of cross section of the beam will be increases. Such a type of beam of light will be calling as divergent beam. Next, third one is a what? Convergent beam. In the case of the convergent beam, the area of cross section of the beam will be goes on decreasing. Finally, all these light rays are going to intersect at a particular point. Such a type of beam of light we are calling as a what? Divergent beam. So this is the basic information about ray, beam and types of beams. What are the different types of the beam? Parallel beam of the light and divergent beam as well as the convergent beam. So this is the introduction part of the ray optics. Now we are going to discuss the reflection, refraction and remaining parts. But according to the reflection part is removed, reflection of the light part is removed. So now we are going to start from the refraction of the light. We are going to start from where? Refraction of the light. Reflection of the light part will be removed. Next, the first concept. What is that? Refraction of the light. Refraction of the light. So what is the refraction of the light and when the refraction of the light will be takes place? So whenever light is traveling from one medium to the another medium, whenever the light is traveling from where to where? One medium to the another medium. So I am assuming that it is the first medium and this is a what? Second medium. So to explain the concept of the refraction of the light, we consider the two different mediums. And which is having the two refractive indices mu1 comma mu2 respectively. So whenever light is traveling from one medium to the another medium, the speed of the light will be changes. Once again, whenever a light is traveling in a given medium, the speed of the light will be constant with respect to that medium only. The speed of the light will be constant with respect to a particular medium only. But whenever the light is traveling from one medium to the another medium, the speed of the light will be changes. Whenever the speed of the light will be changes, whatever the path along which it was traveled, its path will be deviated. Whatever the path along which initially it was traveled, its path will be changes because of change in speed of the light, while it is traveling from one medium to the another medium. Such a type of phenomena. What is a phenomena? Whenever the light is traveling from one medium to the another medium, the path of the light will be deviated. Such a phenomena we are calling as a what? Refraction of the light. So what is the main reason behind the refraction of the light means? The reason is that while the light is traveling from one medium to the another medium, its speed value will be changes because of that only. The path of the light will be deviates. Such a type of phenomena we are calling as a what? Refraction of the light. So how can we define the refraction of the light means? See the definition. The phenomena due to which the light is deviated. When the light is deviated, when it is traveling from one medium to the another medium. Such a type of phenomena we are calling as a what? Refraction of the light. What is the main reason here? Refraction of the light will be takes place due to change in the speed of the light. So that it takes place due to the change in the speed of the light while it is traveling from one medium to the another medium. In the case of the refraction, what we find, whenever the light is traveling from one medium to the another medium, which physical quantity will be changes? Speed of the light will be changes. But whenever the light is traveling from one medium to the another medium, one physical quantity of the light does not changes. That is nothing but the frequency of the light does not changes. the frequency of the light does not changes even though the speed of the light will be changes while it is traveling from one medium to the another medium. So this is the definition of the refraction of the light. Now we are going to explain whenever the light is undergoing the refraction, how can we define its angle of incidence, angle of refraction, angle of deviation from the corresponding diagram. We consider a refracting medium. What is that? Refracting medium. So why we are saying that the medium is a refracting medium? The medium due to which the light undergoes the refraction, such a type of a medium we are calling as a what? Refracting medium. So here we are assuming that the light is coming from the air medium. The light is coming from air medium into the refracting medium will be taken as the glass medium here. So here I consider one glass slab. Over the glass slab, the light will be incident, which is initially coming from the air medium. To explain the refraction phenomena, I consider the point O. So what is the point O here? The point O will be calling as point of incidence. So what is the meaning of the point of incidence? Whatever the light is coming from one medium to the another medium, that a light will be incident at a particular point over the refracting surface. Such point O will be calling as a what? Point of incidence. And where the light will be incident over the refracting surface, at that point we have to draw the normal. So in the diagram, the normal is represented by the n. So here the normal should be drawn perpendicular to the refracting surface. The normal will be drawn perpendicular to the refracting surface. Next, whenever you draw the normal, now so this is the light which is going to incident on the refracting surface or on the refracting medium. Such a light ray will be calling as incident light ray. Such a light ray will be calling as a what? Incident light ray. The light ray which are going to incident over the given refracting medium will be calling as a what? Incident light ray. So whenever the incident light ray will be incidenting at the point of incidence, this incident light ray will be making an angle theta, an angle I with respect to the normal. That angle will be defined as angle of incidence. What is that? Angle of incidence. So how can we define angle of incidence? Means the angle made by the incident light ray, the angle made by the incident light ray with the normal is called as angle of incidence. The angle of incidence will be denoted with the symbol of I. How can we define the angle of incidence? The angle made by the incident light ray, with respect to the normal, will be calling as the angle of incidence, which is represented with the symbol of I. So here, if there is no refracting medium will be present, along the path of the incident light ray, the light ray will be traveling along the straight line path. Why? The light is having the property of rectilinear propagation of the light. If there is no objection will be there, if there is no opposition will be there for the path of the light ray will be traveling along the straight line. So that if there is no another medium will be present, the light will be traveling along the dotted line only. So that this dotted line will be indicating what? The path of incident light ray. If there is no refracting medium was present, so that is placed opposite to the path of the incident light ray. That incident light ray will be traveling along the dotted line only. But because of some refracting medium will be present, because of some refracting medium will be present over the refracting medium, the light will be incident, so that it is undergoing the phenomena of the refraction. As a result, the path of the light will be deviates. The path of the light will be deviates. So in this diagram, so let it be OA. OA will be indicating what? Incidental light ray. OA will be indicating what? Incident light ray. And I am taking that O2B. O2B will be representing what? Refracted light ray. Refracted light ray. That is, the light ray which is traveling, the light ray which is traveling in the refracting medium, the light ray which is traveling in the refracting medium will be taken as what? Refracted light ray. Refracted light ray. If you observe the diagram once again, this refracted light ray, once again making an angle theta with respect to the normal within the refracting medium, So we will define one more angle, that is angle of refraction, which is indicated with the symbol of small r. So how can we define the angle of the refraction? The angle made by the refracted light ray, refracted light ray with the normal, where within the refracting medium. So this angle we can't take as the angle of the refraction. Which angle we have to take? The angle made by the refracted light ray. The angle made by the refracted light ray with respect to the normal within the refracting medium will be defined as what? Angle of refraction. So angle of refraction is defined as the angle made by the refracted light ray. The angle made by the refracted light ray with respect to the normal, where in the refracting medium, inside the refracting medium is called as angle of refraction, which is denoted with the symbol of small r. So how can we define the angle of refraction? The angle made by the refracted light ray with respect to the normal in the refracting medium will be calling as a what? Angle of refraction. Next, one more angle will be there, that is called what? Angle of deviation. So what is the angle of deviation? It measures while the light ray will be traveling from the one medium to the another medium, how much angle will be deviated, due to the phenomena of the refraction, so that here the angle of deviation will be defined as, see, from this given diagram, this dotted line, what we are saying here, the dotted line is indicating the path of the incidental light ray. Dotted line is indicating what? Path of the incident light ray. And O2B will be indicating what? Refracted light ray. So that from this figure, the angle between the path of the incidental light ray to the refracted light ray will be taken as angle of deviation. Once again, see here, the angle between the path of the incidental light to the refracted light ray will be taken as angle of deviation. So that the angle of deviation is denoting with the symbol of delta. It is the angle between path of the incidental light ray and the refracted light ray, refracted ray. So it is what? The angle between the path of the light ray and the refracted light ray will be taken as what? Angle of deviation. So from the geometry, if this angle is equal to I, this total angle is also equal to what? I. from the geometry. So whatever the angle made by the incident light ray with respect to the normal will be I. The same incident light ray, the same path is also making an angle of I with respect to the normal within the refracting medium. So from this diagram we will write R plus delta is equal to I. R plus delta is equal to what? I. Therefore, angle of deviation formula is equal to what? Delta is equal to I minus R. Delta is equal to what? I minus R. This is the formula for the angle of deviation. Whenever the light is coming from the rarer medium to the denser medium. Again here two different mediums are there. One is a what? Rarer medium, another one is a what? Denser medium. How can we define the rarer medium? The medium for which the refractive index value will be less. The medium which is having the less refractive index, such a type of a medium we are taken as a what? Rarer medium. And the medium which are having the large amount of the refractive indices, such a type of mediums will be taking as a what? Denser medium. Here we two different cases are there. One is light is traveling from the rarer medium to the denser medium. The same graph only we consider here. So this is the incident light ray and this is the what? Refractor light ray, and the dotted line is indicating what? The dotted line is indicating the actual path of the incident light ray. So whenever the incident light ray will be present within the rarer medium and the refractor light ray will be present within the denser medium, the corresponding representation of the refraction of the light will be like this. So whenever the light will be traveling from rarer medium to the denser medium, the light will be bending, the refracted light will be bending towards the normal. Whenever the light is traveling from rarer medium to the denser medium, the refracted light will be bending towards the normal. So what will happen here? The refracted ray bends towards the normal. So when it is possible, whenever the light is traveling from rarer medium to the denser medium, the refracted light ray will be bending towards the normal. And in this case, the angle of deviation we calculated as the angle of deviation value is equal to what? Delta is equal to I minus R. Now we will see if the light is traveling from denser medium to the rarer medium. If the light is traveling from denser medium to the rarer medium, so what will happen? We will see. Now see here, I consider the incident light ray was present within the denser medium and the refractor light ray was present within the rarer medium. So I am assuming that the light rays are coming from the denser medium to the rarer medium. Light rays are coming from where to where? Denser medium to the rarer medium. So whenever the light is traveling from denser medium to the rarer medium, the refracted light will be bending away from the normal. When it is possible means whenever the light is traveling from denser medium to the rarer medium, whatever the refractor ray we got, that refractor light ray will be traveling away from the normal. So that whenever the light is traveling from denser to rarer medium, the refracted ray bends away from the normal. The refractor ray will be bending away from the normal. Now we are going to derive the formula for the angle of deviation. What is the angle of deviation? We told the angle between incidental light ray, to the refractor light ray. See here, from this diagram, see here, this value will be again is equal to what? I. That value is equal to what? I. From the diagram, if you observe carefully, we will write R is equal to, this total angle R is equal to I plus delta. I plus delta. I plus delta. Once again see here, this total angle is equal to what? R, and the angle between the normal to the dotted line is equal to I, angle of incidence, and the angle between the incident ray and the refracted ray is called what? Angle of deviation. So from this diagram we will tell the total angle small r is equal to I plus delta. So from this I will write angle of deviation delta is equal to R minus I. Angle of deviation delta is equal to what? R minus I. When we will take this formula, whenever the light is traveling from denser medium to the rarer medium, the refracted light ray will be bending away from the normal, and the angle of deviation value will be given by delta is equal to R minus I. So this is the case whenever the light is traveling from denser medium to the rarer medium. So this is the basic information about the refraction of the light. In the next class, we will see its applications.